Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Adam. You probably know that already. But today I'm going to show you how to animate an album cover for Spotify using Photoshop and After Effects. So, just to show off the versatility of the tool that I'm using, I have a camera set up over here as well as over here, and I will also be able to show you my computer screen. And I'm doing this all by tapping on this iPad right here. And it's pretty cool. Like, all I have to do is tap the screen that I want to show, and it switches. Pretty nifty, isn't it? I would say so. All right, so I'm gonna set this guy up right here. And this is kind of my first time making a tutorial, so, bear with me, guys. But I'm gonna do my best to keep it short, concise, and direct for you. So let's jump in. Here we are in Adobe After Effects, opening a new project, and I'm going to get to this in just a second. I think what has to happen first is you kind of have to see the process of getting the file ready for After Effects, which is not necessarily the most fun part, but it has to happen regardless. So jumping into Photoshop real quick, here is the file that I have. Going to show all the layers. Boom. I'm going to take each of these layers and export it as its own piece, so I can then, you know what I should do? I should show you guys it from the ground up. Yeah. So here we are. This is my piece, and these are all different pieces I can animate. And I just recorded a different video where I worked my butt off, and pretty much what I did is I copied all of these. I selected all these layers in my huge messy Photoshop file that I made while just creating like a crazy man, and all of the stuff from these was condensed into this many layers, and then I exported all those layers individually into PNGs. So if we dive into my Mac SSD, into Flux, into Visual, into Photoshop, Art, Atom, Lightbulb, PNG2. Here they all are. Beautiful. All those separate PNGs, all with exactly the same dimensions. And that's key, that they have the same dimensions. I don't know what the heck I'm going to use this camera for over here. Maybe I should just turn it off. Maybe this is just pointless, but I kind of like it, but it's kind of dumb. I'm going to stick with this one when I'm talking to you. But now we're going to go back on Photoshop, and here we are with all of these different files perfectly organized by size and shape. So now I'm going to jump into After Effects. Going to say create, save as. Now that I'm in this new project, drop it in Atom, Lightbulb, After Effects, Lightbulb 2, because the first time I did this, it crashed. And I'm going to save like crazy this time, just in case it crashes again. Atom, Lightbulb, PNG2. Really, those could all live in a folder called Assets if I was actually being organized or whatever. But here we are, PNG. We're going to drop the background layer in first. Stop it. Drag it in. Whoa, 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 whoa. If it ever says render queue right here, screw that. Go to none, because this is actually our composition. We're going to drag our background in here. Now we got our background layer. That created a new composition with exactly these dimensions, which aren't necessarily ideal dimensions. And honestly, if we're going to do this perfect from the start, what we should do is, well, there's two different ways to do it. One is to form for the art, which is the artistic approach. One is to fit for iPhones, which is the monetary approach. And if you're in this to make some money, then I would say just do it straight to the iPhone, save yourself time. It's worth it in the end. So I'm going to do that this time, just for a trial. So I'm going to jump back in here. I'm going to say composition, new composition, and I want it to be not 1080 by 1080, but 1080 by 1920. And square pixels, that's dope. 30 frames per second. Let's actually only make this 10 seconds long, because that's all we really need. For a Spotify animation, it only has to be 10 seconds. If you're going to make something for YouTube, that's a whole lot longer, different story. But keeping it 10 seconds, keeping it brief is probably a good idea right now. So I'm going to press OK. We got this guy right here. Let's see what happens when we drop our background in this one. Ooh, wait a minute. Comp 1, drop it in. Okay, so it looks like it's way bigger than 1920 by 1080. That's annoying. Probably should have fixed that in Photoshop prior to bringing it in here. But I'm going to... Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? Like I said, there's multiple ways to do this stuff. And because I don't want to have to bother with resizing all of these, trying to get them to exactly the same size, I guess I could change the scale on all of them to the same size and that would work just fine. The other option is to make this video and make it big, which will make my computer run slower when I'm making it. And then I'm going to turn off. This iPhone feels like a joke right now. I think I'm just going to turn it off. Just because there's no point in capturing all that information, you know? Like, come on. Okay, so this guy right here is bigger than that, and I don't like that. So what I want to do is pretty much size it down by holding shift, and it looks like that's a pretty ideal size. So now what I'm going to do, well, let's make sure it's just slightly larger. Cool. I'll just copy. If I go in here, transform, scale is 93 point whatever, 0.8. So I'll make that 94 so it's a nicer number. Copy it, and then just jump in and grab the rest of my scene. So I'm gonna go rock is next, drop that bad boy in here, go to transform, scale, paste that in. Now we're gonna go to light bulb is next. I don't think so, but maybe it is. Drop the light bulb in. No, definitely not next. It is girl next. So we want body girl. Drop that baby in there. Oop, way too big. Tap on it, transform, scale, paste in 94. Now we're gonna go purple. Drop this bad boy in. Paste in 94. Boom. And this last one, drop it in, paste in 94. Come on, where you at? Scale, boom. Flower comes next. Paste in 94. Let's see. Honestly, you know what I'm realizing? This might be perfect because we do kind of generally want to have some edges that can be brought into the scene. Because if I move this, you know, some of these pieces, if it was cropped this way already, when I would move them, you wouldn't have anything on this edge that's actually disappearing or reappearing. But because the images are larger than the aspect ratio of our workspace or our artboard, whatever you want to call it, it's perfect. We can drag pieces in or out without them messing up the scene. Okay, so here we are. We got these guys imported. This one better be scaled to 94. Let's see. Transform, scale. Oh, but if I scale it to 94, then it doesn't have that feature because it is whatever. Screw it. Okay, so here we are. We're going to drag in the light bulb. We'll put the light bulb shadow in first, and then the light bulb on top of that. Cool. And finally, we want these numbers, which are called text, spelled test. And we're going to scale these bad boys and the light bulb all down to 94. So scale 94, open up this bad boy. You know what? I think I'm going the slow way. I think if you just press T, nope, that's opacity. Is it S? Scale, boom. Select a layer and press S and it takes you straight to scale. Freaking, this program is so efficient for this stuff, and I just need to learn to use that more. So I'm just pressing S twice right now and kind of like closing these guys up by bringing it to scale and then closing it. That's such a nice tool. Okay, but before I close it too much, I'm gonna jump in, I already closed them all, and go to the girl and say transform. You know what, I wanna change the blue one. I'm going to go transform position. Is it just P? No. Oh, it is. Oh my God, so cool. Okay, purple, P, position. Here we go. So we're gonna say drop a keyframe right there, move it out to, oh, let's say we'll move it to like 1 second, why not? Position it more like this. Ooh, this is not the one I want. I wanna go blue, give me the blue. transform position. Oh, it's a bad habit. Tap, press P, tap this guy on 0. So that's pretty much entering a keyframe. I should describe how this works. When I press a keyframe, that means at that point in time, this is the current setting. When I go to a different point in time, when I set a different setting, it's going to gradually change over that point of time, those 2 points of time. All right, so I'm gonna go to 1 second now, and I'm gonna drop a new keyframe, and I'm just going to drag this out a little bit. And I can continue to do this, and it won't be bad necessarily, because I don't even have to press on a new keyframe every time. I can just keep dragging it and placing. Every time I change these numbers, it will make a new keyframe. And the other thing I can do is I can just copy all these things I just made and paste them. And now I just kind of copied all my work and duplicated it, and boom, without having to do all that stuff. Pretty awesome. Pretty nifty. Cool. So what we want to do finally is take the keyframe at the very beginning and put it at the very end, because that is how, tapped and pressed delete there, that is how you make a perfect loop. All right, now partway through this, I think it'd be cool to get some fun like distortion happening. I'm gonna save right now because this is where it happened last time. I'm gonna add a wave warp and drop it on this one. And I'm gonna change the wave type to, let's say, smooth noise. I want it to be set to 0 degrees. Let's just say, so when we increase this, we're gonna get some cool glitchy shit happening. And our wave width can be increased a little bit too, so those glitches are larger. And then something else that'd be fun to try is slowing down the wave speed. I'll show you what's going on. If I press play, that wave speed is just obnoxiously fast for my taste. So what I'd like to do is just change that wave speed from 1 to 0.1. And now it's gonna be like really slow. Maybe that's even too slow. You go 0.2. That looks pretty nice. Maybe even 0.3 for this piece. I'm not totally sure. No! Okay. It froze on me again. I hate it when it freezes on me. All right. Let's see. Decent. Decent. All right, now we're going to try something cool. We're going to say, I want the wave height to change based on a variable. I pretty much click, hold down the Option key and press this, or the Alt key. Press that little time guy. This opens up this little bit of code box, and I'm going to say wiggle these parameters at 30, comma, 60, close parentheses. Now I'm going to click up here. See what I'm going to press play? Boom. So that's going to be kind of jumping now. And what it's doing is it's saying 60% at, I think the first one is the speed it's changing at. And the second one, maybe the second one's the speed. So we're going to change the second one to 10, and we'll change this one to 80. And it might be like really intense, but slower. Very hard for me to tell what's going on here. I think it is intense, but slower. I really can't tell. We'll change this to 50. Kind of dope. Kind of dope. All right. I mean, we're getting something. I'm not loving it. I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to Command Z a bunch. Instead of smooth noise, I'm going to do something more like square. That's cool. And we'll make the waves way thinner. More the vibe of this piece for sure. And now we're gonna make these guys only come out sometimes. So we're just gonna say wave width. Nope. Wave height. Just add some keyframes around here. Gonna say at this point we want it to be like 0. And then when it comes out here, we'll make it like still 0. And then it's gonna get like out to this point, and it's gonna separate. And then it's gonna be like, actually, I wanna go back. So wait a minute. Let's say go back. We don't want it to be so intense. We'll just go invert that a little bit. So it'll be like this. And we'll go back in here. And we'll go like this. So pretty much what we're doing is we're just giving it like some information about when these things are going to happen. And then it will bounce back and forth and do cool little things. And I kind of think it's too much. I don't know if I like it that much. So I'm going to add some zeros in there so it keeps kind of coming back to a 0 point every once in a while. I think that might kind of help it feel more natural. And something else that's really cool about this is that now I've done this, I can hold all these guys, hold the Option key and drag outwards, and it will smooth, it'll pretty much extend all these animations. So they're happening over a longer period of time. That's a cool effect. All right, I kind of like what's going on there. Let's move on. Whew, this tutorial is getting really long. Sorry, it's just like a lot. It's a lot of cool things to show you. So that's how you make wave warp and play with it. It's really cool. And that little thing of code that we typed is also really cool. It makes things jump. So I also think it'd be cool if the light bulb was kind of flickering. That's when I should use that flicker function. Totally. So we're gonna go into the light. We're gonna say opacity, hold down the Option key. I'm gonna say I want a wiggle from, let's say at 50% and 80%, because I really can't remember. I think the second number is the opacity. Dope, super dope, but I put it on the wrong thing, gosh darn it. I'm just copy this guy, tap this to reset it. Let's just get rid of this on this guy. I want not the shadow, but the actual light bulb. Transform opacity, hold Option to click on it, paste in my code. Light bulb's flickering. I dig it. All right, so that's too much of a flicker. I'm gonna drop that 80% to 20%. I think it'll just flicker by 20% now. Yeah, cool. And 50 is a little fast. Let's go 40. Pretty dope, pretty dope. Let's increase this guy to something more like 50. I know it was just at 50, but let's see if that works. Still feels way too fast. I'm gonna drop this guy down to like 20. Cooler, way cooler. Let's go 15. Still too fast. I'm gonna go 5. I don't know if he needs 0 or not, but I'm putting it there. Okay, I like it. Too slow though. Let's go 8. Finessing, guys, finessing. It's that this thing is bouncing back and forth too fast for me. The girl, the girl's going way too fast. So I'm gonna do to fix that is I'm gonna say body. We're gonna take this position keyframe that's just happening way too often. Select like half of them, and select the other half. Oh, sorry, select one half, delete it. Hold Option, drag the end one, and we're just gonna extend all of those out a bit. So now it's all gonna kind of move slower. Definitely way better, but I think it could still be one slower. So we'll just delete one. Select these guys, hold Option, drag it out. I dig it. I dig it. All right, cool. I think I might even cut one more out. I think really slow is kind of the key here. But let's see what else I can make happen first. You see that flower? Let's make that flower do some cool, trippy shit. And this thing, oh my God, so many pieces. All right, the flower is going to move in the foreground while the stone is going to move in the background. That's really easy. We're just going to take the rock and we're going to say transform position, drop a keyframe, and we'll just kind of move it slightly this direction. And then we're going to say, okay, 2 seconds in, it's going to actually be more this direction. You know what? Let's just go pretty far and make this more like 4 seconds in. And now we're just going to copy both of these guys and just paste them like right here. Let's see. Let's see if we can get them all to fit. Just 4 of them pretty nicely. I'm just usually, using my visual spacing skills here to kind of get something somewhat consistent. So now that's pretty cool, but I think it has to go opposite of what's happening with the blue thing. It's a little funky how they're both moving. Woo! Pretty cool though. Pretty cool still. Oh no, it's freezing. Oh no. Okay, stop freezing. All right. No, it's freezing again. Bad news is every time it freezes, you have to look at me. Let's see. It's still frozen. I should have saved. Well, you guys, this is sad. It's the second time this has happened, but I'm gonna have to stop the tutorial because After Effects is just being a bitch. I'm gonna try something first, though. I'm gonna try connecting this camera. Wow, it already connected, and now I can switch to it. That is incredible. You see that little spinning beach ball? Screw that guy. So annoying. This is such a cool tool. Filming my iPhone, switching on my iPad, and also showing my computer screen. It'd be cool to have a first-person perspective as well. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Cinemaker is an amazing device. You guys should download it. Cinemaker. Cinamaker. Get it on the App Store. Check it out. If you want to try it for free, let me know. I'll send you a link. I got you. All right, that's it. Peace, guys.